Hello, my teacher colleagues and students who are pursuing the career in teaching. School is a very important place for every child to study, to develop, and to become the most important citizen, most productive citizen for our country. Children come from very different backgrounds. Students can come from rich families, poor families, diverse conditions such as rural areas, tribal areas. There can be students from very different background, maybe having single parents, or they may be of minority, or they may have some other kind of problem at home. But when they come to the school, the basic goal of the school to make them to grow, to develop and learn optimum. For that, the teacher has to make lot of efforts. The teachers have to understand the students, their nature of difficulties, their needs, and how these students can be helped. You can understand nowadays our schools becoming more inclusive. In other way, if I like to explain it, the school where child from any background can come, can be part of the school community, has right to be with rest of the peers, learn with them and achieve to the maximum possible that the school can. So when children from different background come, so their needs, their learning style, their abilities, that may differ. But the teacher's ultimate aim is to make sure the child learn at the optimal rate. Child learns so that he or she can be a productive citizen, a sensible citizen of the country. You know, there are different types of children having different difficulties. One of the group is that is children with disability. Every school today is open for these kind of children. They have rights to be enrolled in the school. They have rights to learn in the classroom, and they would grow from class to class, from level to level, from elementary to secondary, secondary to higher education. It is the school has to shape their learning, the school has to motivate them, and it is the teacher's responsibility to make sure that they get the best in the school. So that's why the teacher's academic responsibility of managing the needs of children with disability is very important aspect. And we need that the teachers must understand what is their academic responsibility in the context of disability. They must understand disability. So today we are going to discuss about the teacher's academic responsibility of understanding disability. You know, teacher's academic responsibility can be best understood when teacher can underline the implications of disabling conditions. Based on that, teachers understand how to facilitate learning, that is inclusive classroom. The classroom where the teacher has children from different backgrounds, different learning abilities, different motivation levels, and their family environments might be different. But teachers' academic responsibility lies that he or she facilitates their learning to the best possible extent. So, let us discuss what is academic responsibility of a teacher, and we will connect to the children with disability. You can understand, I hope you must have realized working with the children as a teacher, what are the responsibilities to improve the academic condition of the classroom. As a teacher, you know well, but anyhow we will discuss it. Number one, making the school environment stimulating. You can understand, school environment is very important for every student. The school is something, if the child like to come, if the school is a place child is motivated to come, the school a place the child feels he can learn and enjoy, and the place where child feels there is a teacher who not only teaches, is a friend, facilitates the learning, understand the problem, and many times resolve these problems. So, school environment needs to be stimulating for each child, whether the child has learning difficulties, whether the child has some kind of disability that interfere with his or her learning, whether the school physical environment is such that child does not get difficulty in reaching to different classrooms, playgrounds, and more important, the child enjoys with his classmates and the peers in the school. So, school environment needs to be very stimulating in the sense it should be a welcoming environment. The child should feel like being welcome. Many times as a teacher, if you could introspect, reflect what exactly many of us do in the school. When a child comes for enrolling or for admission to a school, many times we become we think a lot whether we can give admission to the child or not, whether the child can do well in the can get adjusted with the classroom, whether this child we have lot of different kind of questions. We think a big question whether the school can. But more important, we have to think that we are looking at the child's disabling condition, not looking what the child can do. At the same time, if we make school very comfortable, we interact with the child, we make the child feel that he or she is welcome, we make sure that the peers get involved with him or her, I hope half of the difficulties are solved. So, from the day one, the parents, the child, the family members should feel like the school is really welcoming them. The school is really interested that such children to get enrolled, do well in the school, they study, and also school can make more stimulating when they share the responsibility with the parent. So, that is why we say making school environment stimulating is one of the most important academic responsibility of the teacher. Secondly, opportunities for learning is another aspect that lies within the academic responsibility of the teacher. Opportunities for learning, if I highlight it, means the child should not be just a passive learner in the classroom, not just listening to a teacher, sitting in the classroom, but more important, the child should be made that he is or she is a active participant in the learning process. In the classroom, whatever the topic we teach, we have to see that this topic is related to our real life situation, where each student can contribute. Even the children with special needs, children with disability, they can also contribute. If opportunity create not in the means of just listening in the classroom, taking out, making some demonstration, or making group work so that the child is together with rest of the children, and each child gets opportunity to learn. It's not only the classroom, but outside the classroom. Maybe the library, maybe the laboratories or the playground, or even out of the school. When you talk about out of the school, it means the child does it with his or peers, with his or classmates. If the teacher takes interest what the child does after the school hours, involve the peers to inquire about this, motivate them so that they can participate whatever the child does out of the school, or you may encourage the peers what they do. So if they can involve the child, that would be really would give ample opportunities for learning. And teachers' second responsibility is not only within the school, it is out of the school also. It is in the community setups, it is in the family settings. So everywhere the teacher becomes a facilitator for the child's learning. Then thirdly, setting learning goals for children as per curriculum. So our all fingers are not equal. So similarly, all the children's learning are not the same way. Even the learning styles are different. Someone is a visual learner, someone is an auditory learner, someone may be using both. However, when we set the learning goals, we have to consider the child's ability level, what the child can do, and how the child can be helped to achieve that goal. It should not be very unrealistic, or we cannot underestimate or overestimate the child's learning. We have to be very real in understanding what the child can learn. We have to understand what are the needs, what are the environments where the child comes from. So those could be related to the child's learning goals. Other aspect is when we talk about multiple intelligence, it means it doesn't that the child is always good in all subjects. Child may be good in mathematics, child may be good in some other subject. So we have to see where the child is good at. The child may be good in music, may be good in drawing and art, So, those medium can be used to teach the child and make the child to reach at those learning goals. So, when you talk about the curriculum, we have to see the curriculum, the learning goal, the themes of learning are distributed over different, it can be taught through music, it can be taught through art. The same thing, for example, a mathematical concept can be taught through some kind of literature, and then it can be taught through geography, can be through some kind of plays. There could be, learning across curriculum is another thing that you have to think how children, those who have different learning abilities, it could be how helpful for them to learn different things in the classroom. And I hope that is very important way we have to make the children learn. So, when you talk about teaching children with special needs in the classroom, and when we remind teachers about the academic responsibilities, it is now very important we have to consider the child's difficulties, the kind of disability. So, then based on that we can think of how we can best perform our academic responsibility. So, ultimate aim of our academic responsibility is making all children learn. So, when you teach something through multisensory approach, or we call it universal design for learning, means you take care of every possible deficits of the child, then based on that you compensate while teaching. So, when you doing means you are presenting some lectures or something you are doing, you may be using blackboard and chalk, you may be speaking, or some teachers they make effort to put some models, charts, even some teachers do not forget to bring something for demonstration. I understand good teachers always combine all kind of strategies to make their class more interesting. They speak, they write on the board, they provide visual stimulus, means they provide the models, charts. At the same time they also do a demonstration also, depending on the subjects they teach, the topic they teach, and they also do the role play also, they make narrate some story also. So, when you combine all those strategies, just think about children having different abilities, children who have disability. If the child has visual impairment, when you do role play, when you are explaining something, when you are giving lot of auditory feedback, while writing you are speaking, you are same time you are speaking, so they do not miss what exactly you are teaching. Similarly, when children with hearing loss, when there you are in the classroom, when you write on the board or you put lot of visuals, you demonstrate, so you can understand that even the children with hearing impairment, they do not miss your content, they feel like they are part of the classroom. And when a child with learning difficulties or intellectual disability, when you make all these activities together, or you make children to go for a trip or you take them out, really they enjoy learning. And when all students participate in learning and you see them really they learn and they have the motivation to generalize the learning, means whatever that learn in the classroom they use it outside also, that you can understand that your academic responsibility of making all children learn has been fulfilled. I understand it is a very difficult one, means how to make all children learn at the same time, but when you are sensitive about the children's problem and you are really a motivating teachers, you know all the areas where you can tap so that you provide the best strategy for learning, I can understand you can make miracle. And making all children learn, I would like to give 5 points for you to understand. We have already discussed many points just before, that is unwelcoming environment. So, when you provide different methods of teaching, different strategy use, you write, you speak, you demonstrate, you take for a trip, you make a role play. So, in the classroom the child feels the child is really participating in the content. The child feel like it is a welcoming environment in the classroom itself. It is not only the classroom we talk about, we either talk about the whole school. Whole school, when we talk about in the whole school approach, means it talks about the teaching staff, the headmaster or principal, the support staff, the school transport. So, every person in the school take responsibility to make every student comfortable, and especially the student who has difficulties, the students who has disability. So, when they feel the environment is really supporting them, so they feel part of the institution, they feel part of the school, and that makes them to own the school, to own the teachers, classmates, and they feel they are very part of the school, and that is a very warm, means a good sign of a child achieving in the school. The teacher, as a teacher, you need to have a concern and support for individual development. As we discussed that every child is not the same. Every child has problem. Every child has some kind of strength also. So, no one is perfect. We have children who are gifted, who are genius. They may have some emotional needs that you have to care for. Children who are even with average learning, whatever you say, as such there is, we do not use any kind of average. They may be good in some subject, may not be. So, there is always need, means some kind of somewhere they may be good, somewhere they may be average, somewhere they may be, because we need to understand where they have strength and where they have weakness. We have to work upon their strength, at the same time we have to compensate their weakness. Whether a child who has difficulty at home, may be a child from a single parent, or they have a distraught family. So, we can understand their family scenario, their family situation. If the child is supported at school, if the child homework is teacher pulls out some time and spends about few minutes seeing that the child does the homework at school, then the child goes home. We can understand that many children, they do not find that kind of environment at home to complete the homework. So, this is one of the example. There could be many. As a teacher, you know that. So, if the teacher is concerned and the teacher really support for individual development, then we understand that it will make all children learn. As we discussed, the teacher to have clear academic expectations and standards. We should fix our standards that where the child can reach. We should have a realistic expectation. We should not be very unrealistic or very high expectation. And as we discussed, we need to have a adaptive curriculum. The curriculum should be flexible. The curriculum should be in such a manner that we make sure that every child access to the content. It could be in a different format. If the child with low vision, then the the size of the letters would be different. then we need to understand the disadvantaged conditions. We need to support them. We need to support them in a group situation. We may need to support them in a one-to-one setup, maybe in an individualized way. So then as a teacher, if we care of all those points, we know we are much sure that all children really they will be ready to learn. So understanding disability, as we discussed with you, there are many different types of disability, as you know. I know we will be have different topics in this series of lectures. Really will talk about different disability, and we understand as a teacher you know about different disability. But I would like to talk about the disability not perceived as a dependency. So it means you have to make a situation such a way that the dependency is reduced and the child with disability is really supported. As a teacher, I hope you can appreciate that the effort should be made to make all children learn. Although we always mention that the classroom would be in such a way it is the transaction done and the facilities created that it gives opportunity to all children to learn. But making all children learning is a very difficult task, and for which the teacher has to make a lot of exercises to make preparations. So what we discussed about 5 points that how to make all children learn in such a school or classroom. I would like to summarize it in a very practical way so that you can understand what as a teacher is supposed to do. When you talk about a welcoming environment, it means we make our all staff, teachers, administration, support staff, they recognize the child's problem not as a weak aspect of the child, but as an aspect how the child to be supported. If the child comes by transport, the child has difficulty in walking, it is not we have to make some kind of comments, the child not able to walk, not able to climb, or pushing the child, making a child laugh in front of all the students, the child not able to do. But as a staff, as a teacher, we make sure everybody has a concern. The staff really comes down, holds the child's hand, support him or her, make them child to climb the bus, and there is some student or classmate, they vacate the seat so that the child sits comfortably. And sometimes a child with hearing loss, as you know, may not understand what you give the verbal command. So it is important for the staff member in the bus to, whether in a written card or something, where he is supposed to climb, supposed to deboard. So these are things to be provided in such a manner the child understands. Similarly, child with visual impairment, he or she has to be helped. He has to learn how to hold where to hold. So if the child is trained for few days, I can understand he has a visual mapping of entire bus and the transport and the road system, and the child uses independently. That does not mean that support has to be an ongoing process. As the child learns and becomes independent, you need to reduce the support, fed it, and gradually the child makes his own way. And similarly, the practical way to become concern and support for individual development, it means you need to understand the child's individual differences. You highlight the child's assets or strength, you highlight child's weakness. Based on that, you make sure what are the areas where you have to support the child. So, that support may be through your students, may be through peers, may be through family members, but you make sure where the areas the child needs to develop. You need to set the goals. In the behavioral term, you need to write down what you are expecting the child to complete in this academic session. Maybe you may have very short term plans, you may be plan for every month wise, that this month the child who has this difficulty will complete this kind of your learning goals. So that should be very important, so that in a very phased manner you able to achieve the academic expectations and also keep the standards at right place. As a teacher, you understand the curriculum, something which is not a fixed for every child. We know the goal of the curriculum, in the content. So, each unit, when you plan for each unit, you understand the needs of every child of the class. Based on that, you make sure how to plan your teaching, how to plan the teaching learning situation, what kind of material you have to use, where you have to provide the support, whether it is in a visual text, then whether you need in a auditory way, or you need some kind of video, or you feel that you can from the YouTube you can find out some proper material, then you can supplement to your teaching. That is up to you, but the only thing is you make your class such a way every child learns. And most important, you have to understand the disadvantaged condition, because you have to understand there is always a limitation, and you may need to get support from other experts, support from special teachers, support from inclusive specialists, support from rehabilitation professionals where you have problems. So, these problems can be solved when you discuss, when you find out some solution. I hope if you do all these things, you will be really achieve your goal, that will make all children learn in your classroom, and you will be a great teacher. And the teachers is not something that you only just you teach. The teacher who makes all children learn, it becomes a wonderful teacher. I end with this, with expectation that we understand responsibility, we understand academic responsibility, and we are for all the children, and we really make the school to learn. Thank you.